Okay, sorry, I don't know. I'm new with this technology. It's kind of like I'm technologically impaired. But so you were saying like the outdoor housing, like the outdoor kitchens, you thought that was very nice.
Hmm. What was my favorite part about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the lifestyle. I like you go to the waterfalls. So here in the States we have pools, but they go to waterfalls over there.
Oh, nice.
Um, and also they're very modest. So women don't wear bathing suits; they wear clothes. Like people wear clothes when they go swimming.
Oh,
They
wow.
cover their shoulders and their knees. They don't show anything. And so to be polite, usually if they would come to the waterfall, the foreigners would leave or would cover up. If that makes
Okay.
sense.
Well, that's cool. So it was kind of like an unspoken rule you had to learn. Were
Mm-hmm.
there any other unspoken rules that you kind of learned along the way?
I really had to learn how I'm very like can be loud, like eccentric, like really animated with my facial expressions. And over there, they're not. They're very like subtle and calm and very polite. And so I really had to learn how to kind of tone it down with my reactions. With my excitement, with my reactions. Like you
Mm-hmm.
order something they don't have it, like oh my gosh, you don't have that. Like there's nothing. you,
Yeah.
you don't send it back. You don't. Yeah, that was really different, and that took some time too, because you had to be aware. I had to look at them and them look at me, and kind of like, am I doing something wrong? You have to be a certain conversations with other people and read their body language and stuff. So,
Yeah. So you became like with the nonverbal cues, you became quite aware.
hmm
Did that take a while or was it like something that gradual?
I I'd say like maybe 6 to 8 months. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean that's different for everyone. That depends. Like if you want to, if you really want to be respectful of the culture of the country that you're in. You don't have to. No one would tell you otherwise. But do you know what I mean?
But that's probably why you feel like you had such an amazing experience in a way, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Then another thing, what about coming back home? How was that experience? And whatever
Um,
you feel comfortable sharing, because I know everyone has like really, I've heard a lot of different stories. So,
yeah, that's a fine. I don't mind. Coming home was really difficult. More difficult than I thought. I was surprised that nobody really wanted to hear about my experience in Thailand. It was so weird. I came back like, oh, like walking through the door, confident, like I'm ready. Ask me, and like everyone's like washing the dishes or making food and doing laundry, and no one wanted to
having
know.
their life, right?
Yes, I was like that. Even my own brothers and my own mom and dad, I was like, no, no. Look, you guys, I'm so much more like I have like this world perception, and nobody,
It was like, wah, wah.
yeah. And internally, I had to be like, okay, you can't be mad at them. You can't be mad at them. It's not their fault.
No, it's
It's just
not. They've never seen anything other than that. And it's
yeah.
your choice. Like you made this decision on your own anyway. So,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I can totally understand that completely.
And then there I was like doing things, differently. I mean, I got sick a little bit too, eating the food again. I went to Chicago and stayed with my family over there for a week, and I was just kind of slowly getting back into things. But seeing the Apple store was different. Driving on the right side of the road. I got in the car with my mom, and I pulled into the left lane, and like she'll never let it down. Like April, you're on the wrong side of the road. I'm like, that was only because no one else was around me. I was the only car on the road, and so I just kind of did what I was naturally doing the last 2 years. But
Right. So little things like that. What
so one of
about emotionally?
what about emotionally?
Yeah.
Um,
Is that the goat?
yeah, lots of goats. There's like 60 goats here.
There's 60 goats.
Or could be a cow. There's 10 cows here. Yeah.
Love
Like
it.
emotionally, I guess. What do you mean by emotionally? I mean, it was really difficult.
Just going back home, like, did you feel like you had a bit of a sense of place, or did you just feel overwhelmed? What were the kind of things that you were feeling like what when you went back?
I felt more like somber and subdued. Like I felt bad about like having needing time to transition. So I had spoken to one of my cousins who lived in Georgia over there by Russia.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent me like immediately sent me this book in the mail and said about coming home and just to read that, you know, it actually does take time. I sometimes get a little hard on myself and didn't realize, you know, like moving from one country to the other, it does take time. So sometimes they say people don't feel comfortable in their own country again for like a year or maybe sometimes never.
Right.
I felt pretty comfortable. I mean, I still like between about the 3 month mark, but
Yeah, because
I
when I saw you in Houston, you seemed that you were good, like the
yeah.
last time.
Well, I felt better when I came back to Houston. So let me be clear. I went to Michigan when I came back into town,
Okay.
just for financial reasons because I needed to stay with my parents and I needed to get back on my feet. But Michigan is not really home to me anymore. Texas is, Houston is, and so when I got back to Houston,
Yeah.
but the food is still a struggle. I mean, now I see everyone eating potato chips, and my aunt makes the best chocolate chip cookies and
Yeah, she
potato
does.
salad. Like, I can't.
You can't eat it? Oh my god, that's like the thing I miss is food and
Well,
Mexican food.
and you do miss it, and I really did miss it, but it's in an abundance over here. You know, like
True.
makes
Because
you sick.
you see it in a different perspective. I bet in Thailand everything's a lot. They're not as wasteful. I'm guessing the culture.
I don't. Their portion sizes are about like 4 times less than what ours are. It's pretty incredible.
Wow, amazing.
So I think emotionally it was hard because no one really valued my experience as much as I valued it, and that was difficult. And then also trying to figure out my new lifestyle, like driving a car now, and what I mean by that is that I have a car and it's very different than a motorbike where I can fit many more things in there and I can get to many more places faster, you know, and then that makes you a busier lifestyle and it makes you collect more things and need more things and you don't, you know?
Yeah, and
I don't know.
you learn. You're like trying to find a balance of like your old life where you were a little bit more minimalistic
Simple, simplicity, you know,
and
to
to like all this stuff that just you become like attached to
mhm.
in a way. I get that. I get that. And
Did
then
I,
one more question. A quote or a word that kind of sums
oh,
up your whole experience. Like, what do you think?
well, I forgot I thought about this last night. My
Yeah.
experience, I guess one word was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was probably the best thing I've ever done, and I'm still contemplating on how to get back out there. And I don't know if I can, what did I do? I screenshotted something last night. I wonder if I could get out of this, but I
You
don't want to.
you can on your side.
Let me see.
Go ahead, and I'll pause it. Okay. So did you find it?
I did.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
So I just quickly Googled this last night, but I totally agree with this. It says, we carry our homes within us, which enables us to fly.
Yeah.
Does that make, can you hear me?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
So I really like that a lot because even when I was in Thailand, I met people from South Africa, other teachers from Ireland, New Zealand, and England, and I made them my grandma's homemade enchiladas, and I made them tacos, and I would put on some Tejano music,
Yeah.
and those things were really important for me to do while I was there because it was like kept my home within me and allowed me to go everywhere. And then they got to it. It was so funny. I made enchiladas. I made cheese enchiladas, okay, which is like the way my grandma makes them. And the English guys were like, "Oh, you didn't tell us there wasn't any chicken in here." And I was like, "Oh, well, that's just traditionally the way that you just make cheese enchiladas." And my grandma grew up like really, in poverty and poor, and they
Yeah.
don't have there's a cheese,
Right.
I've not known like how traditional those enchiladas were. It's funny.
Oh, that's good. That's nice. It's a good thing that you were able to still feel like you're home. Bring your home and